Hi everyone, let's revise a topic on definite integrals and its applications. So we'll basically find the areas bounded by the curves such as parabola and line, right? We'll go through a few problems quickly so that it becomes a revision of this entire chapter. So the first problem is find the area bounded by y square is equal to 4x. So this equation represents a parabola and another parabola. So you have two parabolas here. You will have to find the area bounded by these two parabolas. So it look like this, right? One is a right hand parabola and one is a upward parabola. So what we have to do is we have to find the intersecting points of these two curves, right? This is one curve and this is one curve. Now we'll have to find the intersecting points, right? Once we find the intersecting points, then we can find the area between these curves using integral calculus, right? The main benefit of integral calculus is to find area. Now we have two equations. To apply integral, two basic things are required. One is we need to know the limits, right? That is the lower limit and the higher limit. We need to know the limits. We need to know the minimum and maximum. Once we know the limits, we should also know the functions. So you have two curves here, right? Curve 1 and curve 2. That is parabola 1 and parabola 2. We have two parabolas. So we'll have to put those functions or those expression in the form of x, right? In the form of x, you'll have to put those two expressions, subtract them. Basically, to find the area from this point to this point, you have to do the subtraction. Only then you're going to get the area, right? Find the integral of each of this expression and this expression, find the integral and then substitute the values of the limits. And then finally, you're going to get the area. We have two functions here, this one and this one. Now, we first have to find out the expressions in the form of x. That is, so first expression, we'll have to write it in this form, y is equal to x form. That is, so this will be y square is equal to 4x or y is equal to root of 4x or y is equal to 2 root of x. So this is one expression, and this one also we do the same thing. The second expression, we get it in the form of y is equal to x square by 4, right? So now we have two expressions, 2 and 3, right? Both should be in the form y is equal to something related to x, right? Then we will take both of these functions and apply integral on this. So this is step 1, right? Step 1. Step 2, get the limits. To get the limits, you need to get the values of x, because we are going to apply integral with respect to x. Integral is with respect to x. So we should get the values of x. We need to get the max and min value of x, because integral is done with respect to x. So what we have to do is, if you want everything in the form of x, then we'll have to eliminate y. So in the first expression, y square is equal to 4x. So we'll get y. We'll find y from the second equation. Say we got y is equal to x square by 4. We'll substitute this entire expression for y here. So we have y square. Y is x square by 4. So it's going to be x square by 4, the whole square, right? X to the power 4 is equal to 64x. You take it to the other side, you'll get x to the power 4 minus 64x is 0. Now when you get it to this particular state, take the common and you'll get x is equal to 0 or x cube minus 64 is 0. That is, equate this to 0 or this to 0. So when you equate this to 0, you're going to get x cube is equal to 64, which is nothing but x is equal to 4 and x is equal to 0. So we have got two values for x. This is the min value and this is the max value. So we have got the limits. Now we'll apply integral. So once we apply integral, we will get the area. So integral from 0 to 4, these are the x values, right? X is equal to 0 and x is equal to 4. Then you will take the first expression, right? What is the first expression? First expression is this one. This is the first expression. Y square is equal to 4x. When we simplify it and get it to this particular form, y is equal to 2 root x. We want it in this form only. It should be y and equal to something related to x. So y is equal to 2 root x, right? And the second function should be coming from the second curve or second parabola, which is x square is equal to 4y. Now we want it in terms of x only. Y shouldn't be there. So we'll put x square by 4. X square by 4, right? So we have the two functions for the parabolas put here. Then we will have to integrate this with respect to x, right? So now we'll take first function, which is 2 root x. right? We'll have to remember the formula. What is the formula for finding integral? X to the power n, integral of x to the power n is equal to x to the power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Here we have root x. Remember one very important thing, root x is equal to x to the power half, right? Always remember this. This will be frequently used in all the calculations of integral calculus. Root x is equal to x to the power half. So now root x is equal to x to the power half. So integral of x to the power half is x to the power of half plus 1 by half plus 1, because n is equal to half here, right? So you're going to get 2 into x to the power of half plus 1 by half plus 1 minus, we'll integrate the second function also. Now x square, so n is 2. So it's going to be x to the power 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 using this formula. So we'll get x cube by 3, right? Now we simplify it further. You're going to get x to the power 3 by 2 by 3 by 2 and minus x cube by 12. Now we'll have to apply the limit. When I say we have to apply the limit, we'll substitute this value of x first with 4 and then with 0. We'll take the greater number. That is, we take the upper limit first and then subtract it with the lower limit, right? So we are going to get it like this. 4 by 3 into 4 by 3 by 2 minus 64 by 12. Now this part is tricky. How are we going to resolve 4 to the power 3 by 2? We'll have to remember how to do this. Say you have 4 to the power 3 by 2. What we have to do is, we have to write it as 4 cube into half. We can write it like this, right? Because 3 into half is 3 by 2. So you have to write it like this, right? Every time you get something divided by 2, write it like this. You split the numbers like this. Suppose you get 4 to the power 5 by 2, then make it as 4 to the power 5 and to the power half. Now what you're going to do is, say we're taking this, 4 to the power 3 by 2 is 4 to the power 3 to the power half. Now what we're going to do is, 4 into 4 into 4 is 64 to the power half. Now I told you, if it is to the power half, it means square root. So you can write this as square root of 64. And square root of 64 is 8, because 8 into 8 is 64. So this is how we will have to resolve when we get a fraction as power. When we get a fraction as a power, we'll have to split it like this. Because if you split it as half, half is nothing but its square root. So coming back to the calculation here. So after splitting, you're going to get 64 to the power half, which is nothing but 8. So 4 by 3 into 8 minus 16 by 3. Now when you simplify, you're going to get 16 by 3 square units. So this is the area. So let's take a second example where we have to find the area bounded by the curve and one line, right? In the early example, we saw two parabolas. Here it is one parabola and one line. So we have to find the area between this region, that is this one. So we have two functions here. This is one function. This is one function. Now step 1. What is step 1? We'll have to get the functions in the form of x only, right? The function should be in the form of x only. That is, first one is y square is equal to 5x. We'll have to get it to the form of y is equal to something related to x. So y is equal to square root of 5x. So we need to get single power of y, right? So this is equation 1. Now equation 2 is the line equation. Y is equal to x. There is nothing much to do here. Just leave it as is. So this becomes our equation 2. So our step 1 is completed. Now we'll go to step 2. What should we do in step 2? We have to find the limits of x, right? We need to find the lower limit of x and the upper limit of x. How do we find that? If we have to find the values of x from this one and from this one, from these two expressions, if we have to find the value of x, it means we have to eliminate y. If we have to eliminate y, what we do is, we substitute this expression from equation 2 and put it in equation 1. So what is y square? Y square is, we'll put y is equal to x. So from equation 2, y is equal to x. So instead of y, we'll put x. Since it is y square, it's going to be x square. X square is equal to 5x, right? Now we'll resolve this. X square minus 5x is 0, or you'll take x as common, right? When you take x as common, you're going to get x into x minus 5 is equal to 0. This means x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 5. So we've got two values of x, right? So this is the lower limit and this is the higher limit. So step 2 is also completed. Now what is the last step? We'll have to apply integral on this function 1 and function 2. Function 1, what is function 1? This one, root 5x. Note that it has to be in the form of x only because we are going to integrate with respect to x. They shouldn't be y. Okay, so y is equal to root 5x. So instead of y, we'll put root 5x. Here, then we'll take the second expression. Instead of y, we are going to put x. Right, we'll put function 2. So now we will have to integrate this first function, integrate the second function, and then subtract the values. Now, what is root 5x? So root 5, you can take it out. You can write root x. This is going to be root 5 into root x minus x, right? We can take root 5 out. So what is integral of root x? So root x is, like I told, x to the power half. And an integral of x to the power n dx is equal to x to the power n plus 1 by n plus 1. So here we have half. So instead of n, we have half. So it's going to be half plus 1 by half plus 1. X to the power half plus 1 by half plus 1 is x to the power 3 by 2 by 3 by 2. And this one, integral of x is going to be x square by 2. So we have found the integral of both the functions. Now next one is we'll have to apply the limit. That is the lower limit and the upper limit. First we'll take the upper limit, then subtract it with the lower limit. So now we'll take 5 for the value of x and substitute. You'll get it like this. Now remember one thing. Again we got 5 to the power 3 by 2. We got this. Now how do we resolve this? Like I said earlier, 5 to the power 3 by 2 can be written as 5 to the power 3 into half, right? Then this is going to be 5 into 5 into 5 is 125. To the power half is nothing but root of 125, square root of 125. So again, we can write square root of 125 as root of 25 into 5. Basically, we want to get a smaller number. So we can write this as 25 into 5, right? So it's going to be 125. Why we are going to write it as 25 into 5? Because we can find the square root of 25, which is 5. And then we are left with root 5. So it's going to be 5 root 5. So this entire thing is going to be 5 root 5. Now we'll further simplify this. You're going to get 25 by 6 square units. Now let's take the last problem. So this is similar to the earlier problem, just that the equations are slightly complex, right? I wouldn't say complex, slightly different. So let's solve them. So we have, what is step 1? Step 1 is to get the functions, to express the functions. There is two functions here. One is the parabola function and one is the line function, right? We'll express both the functions in the form of x. So we'll say function f1 or y1 is equal to f of x and function y2 is equal to f of x. So both will write in the form of x, right? So we'll take 4y is equal to 3x square. 4y is equal to 3x square. So we'll have to get it to the form of y. Y is equal to 3 by 4 x square. So this is our function 1. This is our function 1. Now, second equation is this one. Either they can give you a line like this or they can give it like this. Both mean the same thing, right? Now, from the second function, we'll again get the value of y, right? Y is equal to 12 plus 3x by 2. So this is our function 2. Now, step 1 is completed. What is step 2? Step 2 is to get the limits. We have to get the limits for x. If we have to get the limits for x, then y needs to be eliminated. Now you have these two equations, this one and this one, right? Using these equations, we'll have to eliminate y. How do we do that? We'll take this 3 by 4x square and substitute here, right? Instead of this y in the second function, we'll put 3 by 4x square. So we'll get 3 by 4x square is equal to 12 plus 3x by 2. So now y is eliminated and we only have x, right? Now we'll group them. When we group them, we are going to get it like this. Basically, this is a quadratic equation, right? Now, if we have to find the value of x, then we'll have to use a sum product method, right? And there is another method also. You can use this formula, that is minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a, right? For ax square plus bx plus c, right? For this kind of an equation, like this, right? You have x square minus 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. So for this kind of an equation, you use this formula and you will get values of, you'll get two values of x. One is you have to add, minus b plus add. The other one is minus b minus this one. So you'll get two values of x. This is one method. The other method is sum product method. So product is minus 8. Product is multiply 8 with the coefficient of x square, which is 1. So minus 8 into 1 is minus 8 and sum is minus 2. This is sum, this is product. Sum is minus 2. Don't ignore the signs. Always remember to put the signs. So product is minus 8 and sum is minus 2. Now we have to choose two numbers where if you multiply those two numbers, you will get 8, minus 8, and if you add those two numbers, you'll get minus 2. So the numbers are minus 4 and 2, because minus 4 into 2 is minus 8, minus 4 plus 2 is minus 2. So numbers are minus 4 and 2. So you'll write it like this, x minus 4, x plus 2, because this is plus 2. Now we'll put it here. So what will happen? This becomes x is equal to 4 and x is equal to minus 2. So these are our limits, right? So we've got the limits. Step 2 is done. Now let's come to the last step. We'll have to find the area. So we'll apply integration on these two functions. So this is one function and this is one function, right? 3 by 4x square and 12 plus 3x by 2. Take both of these functions. Now we'll integrate one by one. So let's split this first, right? Let's split it because there is a common denominator here. Let's write it as 3x by 2 plus 12 by 2 minus 3x square by 4. Now we'll integrate one by one. So we're going to get 3x by 2 plus 6, right? We're going to get plus 6 and then minus 3x square by 4. Now, so we'll put 3 by 2 outside. We have x. What is integral of x? Integral of x is, we'll have to use this formula. Integral of x to the power n is x to the power n plus 1 by n plus 1. So integral of x is x square by 2, right? Then plus 6x, because integral of constant is x. Here we have 6, so it's going to become 6x minus 3x square is 3x cube by 3. Now when you simplify, you're going to get like this. These are the limits. Minus 2 and 4 are the limits. Now we will substitute the values of x, right, individually. On simplifying this, you will get 27 square units as the answer. So be careful about putting the signs, right? So here there is a negative sign, and then inside this you'll have to do the substitution and get the answer. Be very careful about the negative sign. So first solve this entire thing, get one number, right? So we've got the answer as 27 square units. These are a few more additional problems, right? You can solve it for further practice. There's one problem which says find the area bounded by the parabola y square is equal to 4x and its lattice rectum, right? Instead of giving a direct equation, they've given lattice rectum. So remember, lattice rectum equation is x is equal to a for right-handed parabola. So how do you know the lattice rectum equation? You have x here, is it not? If you have x here, the equation is going to be x is equal to a. Okay, so use this equation, and then now you have this equation and this equation, and find step 1 and step 2 and get the area. So I hope the revision of this topic has been useful. Thanks for watching.